Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are in the best of health. If you're new here, hi, I'm Tamanna. I hope you're doing all super great. So in today's video, I'll be reviewing this new launch by KAY Beauty, which is their KAY Beauty Hydrating Foundation, and I'm super excited for this video. If you guys are interested, then you know the drill. Just continue watching. Alright, before I start talking about the foundation, how it works, the coverage, the price, and the packaging and everything else, I need you to know my skin type. So if you guys can see if you can relate or not to my skin type. So my skin type is oily and sensitive. I have acne, marks, and facial hair and whatnot on my face. So I have a very oily skin, which is very sensitive too, and I have a lot of scars on my face. I have also active pimples, and this is my face. All right, so I'm going to be showing you how the foundation works on my skin, and to clear you out, I got these from Nykaa. So Nykaa sent out these 4 shades to me for me to try it out and give you an honest review on them. So let's just get into it. Alright, before anything, let's talk about the packaging of the product. So this is how the product looks like. It looks very nice. This is the basic KAY Beauty packaging. Like all the KAY Beauty products have the similar packaging, which is great. I like their sophisticated, simple, basic packaging. It's so chic and sophisticated. And you also get the shade name mentioned on the top, which is great. And that's the packaging. Now let's see the inside of the foundation and the packaging. So this is how the foundation is from the inside. I really like and appreciate the inside packaging of the product. So this is the foundation, and you get a foam packaging inside, which is so great to protect the foundation. And now let's talk about the product packaging. Alright, so this is how the foundation looks like. It's a very beautiful foundation. Like, I love their packaging. This is a glass bottle. It's very sleek, very chic and beautiful. I really like the print of the brand that they have in the foundation. It looks so aesthetic and it makes the foundation look super luxurious and sleek, and I really like their packaging. Alright, it's so good. And this is also a pump packaging, which is something I really like about the packaging, because I love foundations that have such a packaging that really facilitate the use of the product. So that's a plus point. It comes with a pump packaging, which is great, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And you also get the price, the shade name, and the manufacturing and expiry date in the bottom, which is really great. And this is a 30 grams container, which is the basic, I think, the standard quantity of foundation you get. And this foundation is priced at 1,200, which is 1,200 rupees for 30 ml of product. And I think it's a little bit pricey, honestly speaking, because you get less of product for 1,200, which is a little bit expensive. But let's see throughout the video, and you'll get to know by the end of the video if paying 1,200 for this foundation is actually worth it. So now let's jump to the swatch party of these 4 shades and the application of the product. Alright, so these are the 4 shades, and it's very important for you to understand the KAY Beauty foundation shade names. So let me tell you more about it. So here I have 2 of the foundations. Alright, and this shade is 105Y Light, and this is 180Y Deep. Alright, so these are the foundation names. Now, what is 105, what is Y, and what is Light? Alright, so 105 is the KAY Beauty number, the shade number, and Y stands for undertone. Alright, so basically they've sent me the 4 shades in Y, which is yellow undertone, because my undertone is yellow. So Y stands for undertone, and you also get Y, N, and P. So Y stands for yellow, P stands for pink, and N stands for neutral undertones. So that's about the Y thing. And next to it you have light, and in this one I have a 180Y Deep. So they have 4 different families of skin tones, which is light, medium, tan, and deep. So these are the skin tones. So now that you know about the shade name, it's more easier for you to pick the exact matching shade to your skin tone. It's so easy to find your matching shade online too, because they've segregated the shades with skin tone and undertones, and with shade numbers too, which is amazing. So I really appreciate this thing, because it's actually easier to understand the shade that will suit your skin beautifully and get the right shade easily. So that's impressive detail. And I would really appreciate them for the packaging as well, because they've included this foam packaging in here, which is actually quite protective. So I'm really impressed with it. All right, so let's move to the swatch party. We don't want a party here, we are doing a swatch party. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna start swatching the lightest shade and then move on to the darker shades. So the first shade that I have, which is the lightest one, is 105Y Light. So I'm gonna swatch this here. So whenever you're trying to find a right shade of foundation, try to swatch the foundation here on your jawline and see which one matches your skin tone the closest. So I'm gonna swatch this here. So I'm taking like a pea size amount, like this much, and I'm gonna glide it here. So this is clearly very light for my skin tone, as you can see. Now I'm going to swatch the next tone, which is 130Y Medium, which is from the medium family. And I think this is the closest to my skin tone, but let's see. So I'm taking again pea size amount and gliding it here. All right. So this is the shade, and I think this is the perfect shade to my skin, because you can see it has blended beautifully. Yeah, this is the shade, and I'm going to swatch the 2 other shades for you guys to have an idea and to see if that matches your skin tone or not. The next shade I have is 155Y Tan, and I'm going to swatch this side. So you can clearly see this is quite dark for my skin tone. And this is the darkest tone I have, which is 180Y Deep, which is a beautiful like caramel color. And it's for deeper skin tones. So I'm taking again 1 pea size amount and swatching it. I can surely use this deeper shade for contouring, because you can use this for cream contour too if you by mistake get a very dark shade. So these are the 4 shades, and I think the closest to my skin tone is 130Y Medium. I really feel that this is a bit dark. I'm going to try to mix both of these shades to see how they look. All right, so I believe I will have to, mix these 2 shades to get the perfect match for my skin tone. So I'm gonna mix both of these shades. Now I have both the shades here, which is 105 Light and 130Y Medium. I'm gonna mix both of the shades, and I'm gonna take like 1 pump of each shade. I really like their pump. It really controls the amount of foundation you are, taking in. And I'm taking the other shade and taking 1 pump. So this is how much foundation I've taken, and I'm going to start mixing both of the foundations. And this foundation is quite thick, as you can see. It is infused with mango butter, avocado butter, and oil and hyaluronic acid, and it is an hydrating foundation with a dewy finish, and it has a medium to buildable coverage. So let's see if that's true or not. So we'll see. Now that I've mixed both the shades, I'm gonna start dotting this. All right, so I'm gonna blend half of my face with the beauty blender and the other half with a makeup brush. So this side is gonna be the beauty blender side. So if you want to get more coverage, there's advice to use a makeup brush, but I personally don't like using makeup brushes. I like beauty blenders more. But let's see. So I've just blended half of my face with a beauty blender, and there's absolutely no coverage. Like seriously, it has a very light coverage when I blended it up with a beauty blender. So there is absolutely like no coverage. Now I'm gonna blend the other side with a makeup brush and let's see the coverage we get. I usually don't like blending with makeup brushes, but I think I'm liking how the brush is working with this foundation. You can clearly see the difference when I blended the foundation with the makeup brush. The coverage is better, and with the beauty blender the coverage is lost. So I'm gonna go and apply a second layer to see if the foundation is buildable or not, and I'm gonna blend it all with the makeup brush all together. So I'm applying a second layer of foundation to see how it blends now and how it looks, to see the coverage, if it is buildable or not. And I'm gonna like blend the entire face all together with the makeup brush because I'm liking the application of this foundation with a makeup brush because I'm getting better coverage with it. And don't forget your neck, it's important to blend your neck as well. All right, so let's get into it. Can you see that glow? Like this foundation is so good, and I didn't even use a glowing primer or hydrating primer beneath the foundation. I only used my moisturizer. Can you see? So far it looks really good. So now you can see some coverage on my face because earlier when I used a beauty blender there was absolutely no coverage, and when I applied the foundation with the makeup brush there's actually quite a nice coverage, and the coverage is buildable too. So I personally don't like hydrating foundations. I like mattifying and matte foundations because I'm an oily skin girl. But so far I'm really liking this foundation. It feels very lightweight and the coverage is also buildable, as we have seen. Like I've applied the second layer and the coverage is so buildable. It has covered all my scars and pimples nicely. It's quite a good foundation. I really feel that the foundation settles onto my fine lines, as you can see. But let's see, I'm gonna set my face with a powder and then we can judge the foundation even better. So far, I really think this foundation would work amazingly for people having dry skin and flawless skin, and even, you know, normal to combination skin. But for people having extremely oily skin just like me, you might not like this foundation because it feels very hydrating. And if you secrete quite a lot of oil, then you would end up looking like a fried chicken. So yeah, I'm gonna now set the foundation with powder. Like I'm gonna set half of my face with powder and the other side I'm not gonna set it up, and then we're gonna see if the foundation oxidizes or not. So yeah, for setting my face, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, which is one of my favorite setting powders. And I'm using the Beauty Blender to, you know, put in the powder. And I'm going to set only half of my face. And let's see how it looks. It looks good though. I'm just setting half of my face with the powder. I'm also gonna use a contouring powder on top of the foundation to see how it, you know, works with contouring powders, because some foundations don't really like blend in easily, like let the contour blend easily. So I'm gonna see also the blendability of other products on top of this foundation. Alright, so far the foundation looks good and it hasn't oxidized that much. I mean, it hasn't oxidized that much, yeah. I can see like a pinch of oxidization, but that's totally normal once the product settles onto your face. Let me take you up close. You can see the dewy side and you can see the matte side. Alright, so now let's test the contouring step on this foundation. I'm using the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. And I'm using the PAC 368 brush for my contour. And this is the powder side. Alright, so far the contour is blending nicely. I have not experienced any problem at all in blending the contour. Instead, I really feel that it's blending quite like softly and easily. So, and the foundation doesn't budge or move, which is great. Because some foundations tend to, move or dissolve when you are applying something else or brushing something else on top. So this is a great thing. I'm seriously looking like a greased chicken, like seriously. Now let me take some more contouring powder. Let's contour the dewy side. Okay. I did apply a lot of contour in here, but it's fine. Okay, so it's a little bit like, as you can see, this side blended in very like easily, but this side you can see like the contour powder has sticked to the foundation and it's not blending. So I'm gonna try to blend this. So if you see the side, it looks as if someone has slapped me so hard because the contour is not blending in and it looks very weird. I didn't like this side at all. And if you see this side, when I set it up with the powder, the contour was blending like seamlessly, which is something I really liked. So yeah, I really like the powder side. So that means that if you're an oily skin person, you cannot use this foundation just like that. You need to use the setting powder before you proceed. And I feel that the product seems a bit sticky too. I can like feel some stickiness and greasiness too. It's because the foundation is hydrating and it's not meant for oily skin, but certainly, this is not something I would recommend for oily skin people. If you're a dry skin, that's a whole different story. You know how to make your products work. You know how, which products would work for you and which would not. Maybe you should use like a cream contour product instead of a powder one when you're using this foundation. But I did use a powder one and hence it didn't blend so nicely. But I believe if I would have used a cream contour product, then this would have blended nicely. So yeah, when I set it the face with powder, it worked amazingly. So maybe it's because I used a powder contour thing and not the cream one. But yeah, I honestly didn't like the finish of the dewy. Like the dewy finish is not something I would go for because I'm an oily skin. But I really like this side when I set it up with a loose finishing powder and it looks so good. You can yourself see the difference. So you've seen the foundation on both the sides. Now I'm just going to quickly put on some lipstick because I'm literally looking like a like an ill person. All right, I'm back and I'm going to give like my final thoughts on this foundation. So the opinions that I'm giving are for like oily skin people, like for oily skin girls, because I'm an oily skin girl. So like this foundation may work differently on dry skin and on combination skin and on very oily skin and less oily skin, but I'm a very oily skin girl, so I'm going to give my opinions based on that. So like this side looks so good. You guys can see when I set it up the foundation with the powder, it actually looks so decent and good. It doesn't look super mattifying or super like cakey or nothing. The foundation is not cakey. The foundation looks really good. The finish is really good. And this side is also good if you like dewy foundations, but I think oily skin girls like to stick with matte bases because you're gonna produce more oil in few hours and foundation is gonna look really bad and ugly. So if you're using it, make sure to set it up with a powder before you step out, because then you're gonna look like a greased chicken. So why am I saying chicken so much? I'm craving chicken, maybe. Some of the claims of this foundation and the brand add that this foundation is sulfate and paraben free. It is free from mineral oils, which is an amazing thing about the product. I love products that have good nourishing ingredients instead of harmful chemicals and harm our skin. It has a medium to buildable coverage, which is true because you did see how I was building the foundation and it was building up quite nicely. And this foundation is infused with avocado butter and mango butter and hyaluronic acid, which makes it a hydrating foundation, which indeed it is. You can see how much of hydration is there, and I didn't even use a highlighter. So all this glow is because of this foundation, and it is also lightweight. That's absolutely true. The foundation felt super lightweight on the skin. I don't even feel like I have 2 layers of foundation on my face, which is amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much all about this foundation. If you guys want to try it out, it's definitely up to you, but honestly speaking, I won't recommend to spend like 1200 bucks for this foundation, because at this range you're getting way better foundations than this one out there in the market, and even at half of the price you're getting other foundations that work better than this one. I actually had way better expectations from this product, but it didn't actually meet those expectations. But it's not a bad product, it's an okayish product, but not the best. So I won't recommend spending your 1200 bucks for this foundation. Instead, go on with other foundations that are way better than this one. And all my opinions are based on the fact that I'm an oily skin girl. So this foundation may work beautifully on dry skin and normal skin type. It doesn't mean that if it didn't work on my skin type, which is oily, it doesn't mean that it will not work for dry skin or normal skin. That totally depends on skin type, skin tone, and what other products you're using with the foundation. It entirely depends on many other factors. So that's the thing. But I really believe that oily skin girls should actually ditch this foundation and instead invest in other products that are way better than this one. But I think it would really suit dry skin and normal skin girls because it's actually quite hydrating, as you can see, and it will look really beautiful on your skin. So yeah, this is all about today's review. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching it. If you really did, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you have enjoyed my YouTube family yet, then what are you waiting for? Go and hit that red button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you so much for watching till here. See you in the next one. Mwah. Bye.